I'm here, Craig D'Amico, here at the Clark Broadcasting Camp. So, Craig, what was the most interesting experience that you had as a sports broadcaster?
Oh, well, a lot of memories stand out. One of the memories doesn't involve actually announcing a game. It's one night we came back from a game and the coach was so mad because they lost. But we were all hungry because we didn't get a chance to eat dinner. So we got on the team bus and we actually went to a Applebee's down the road to eat dinner. The only problem was on the way back, one of the players left our group to go next door to Friendly's to get ice cream. We didn't realize it though, so we got on the bus. And halfway back to the hotel, we realized, uh-oh, we forgot someone. We forgot a player. So we had to go back and get them. And, yeah, it wouldn't have been good news if the coach, who was already mad, who went back to him with one less of his players. That wouldn't have been a good experience. But it was fun, and it stands out.
What was the most shocking answer you got from a interview that you had with another person?
That's a tough question. I guess the toughest answer I got was back at a press conference when I was at an NCAA tournament. I asked the coach about, I don't even remember what it was, but the coach just said, oh, that's not important right now, and he just went right on to the next question, and he blew me off. So I don't know if it's because he didn't know me or if it's because I did a bad job asking the question, but yeah, I got blown off, and that wasn't exactly the best feeling.
Who's the most well-known person that you've interviewed or just met?
Well, I once had a chance to talk with over the phone Jim Harbaugh, who now coaches the San Francisco 49ers. At the time, though, he was the coach of the smaller school, the San Diego Toreros. He coached, that was his first coaching job, and he was playing Monmouth. San Diego was playing Monmouth, and I got a chance to interview him over the phone, and it was nice. He was talking about, I asked him, where did he get into coaching? He was a famous quarterback, but, how did he get into coaching and what some of his coaching styles were? And he said he learned from so many great coaches, Bo Schembechler at Michigan and Mike Ditka and even his father, who was a great coach. So, he had a nice answer to that, and it was a great trip down memory lane. You could tell how passionate he was about football just by talking to him with a few minutes that I did.
Well, thanks, Craig. Well, these were some great answers that you gave us, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Send it back to you guys in the studio. I'm Tom Gray here with Craig D'Amico at Sports Broadcasting Camp in Clark, New Jersey. So, Craig, what was the most interesting experience that you've had as a sports broadcaster?
The most interesting experience I had as a sports broadcaster involved a really long bus trip. We had to go out to Loretto, Pennsylvania, which is a 6-hour trip, but it was snowing. So on the way back, a 6-hour trip actually took more like 8-9 hours, and it was a pretty long night.
Yeah. What was the most shocking answer you got from an interview that you gave?
One where I didn't get any answer at all. I would keep asking questions, and you would either get one-word answers or the coach would just pass on the question. So it was not a pleasant experience, not a good feeling.
Who's the most well-known person as a star in the real world that you met during an interview?
I think the most well-known person would be Jim Nantz. He is the lead announcer for CBS for the NFL and for college basketball. And I got a chance to meet him at one of the NCAA tournaments, and he was a really nice guy, and he really helped me out a lot.
All right, I'm Tom Gray with Craig D'Amico at Sports Broadcasting Camp in Clark, New Jersey. Send back to you guys in the studio.
So, Craig, how long have you been in this business of sports broadcasting?
I've been in sports broadcasting ever since I got out of high school, so it's a long time now. About 9 years I've been working radio, TV, internet, done a little bit of everything, so it's been quite a while.
Oh, well, that's great. What other jobs do you have other than sports broadcasting?
Well, I also teach. I work as an elementary school teacher, and I also coach tennis, so I manage to keep myself busy.
Oh, well, okay, that's good. Couple jobs. When did you start sports broadcasting?
I started when I announced 2 years at the high school. I got to announce on their morning show 2 years of sports, and from there I went right to Monmouth University. And as a freshman, I got to announce right off the bat. Right as a freshman, I got to announce basketball games. So it was a really neat experience.
Oh, okay, that's good. Last question. What is your favorite part of being a sports broadcaster?
Well, to be honest with you, I love to eat a good meal. And when we go on the road, Not only do we get free food sometimes, but we get some good eats. So me being the foodie that I am, the food is one of the best perks of the job.
Okay, back to you in the studio. I'm here at the Clark Sports Broadcasting Camp with Craig D'Amico, and I'm just gonna ask him a quick 3 questions about his life. Oh man, Craig, how long have you been in sports broadcasting?
Been in sports broadcasting now for about 9 years.
Oh, okay, that's good. When did you start sports broadcasting?
About in high school.
What did you do in sports broadcasting? Like, did you do PA, play-by-play? What?
I did a little bit of everything. One of the things that you learn early on is never say no to things and keep yourself open to doing things you never thought you were going to do. So I did play-by-play. I've done color. I've worked cameras. I've done stats. I've worked for free. I've done virtually everything I can to get involved in sports broadcasting, and it's been great.
Last question. What's your greatest memory of sports broadcasting?
My greatest memory of sports broadcasting was when I got to go to the NCAA tournaments 2 years in 2004 and again in 2006.
Okay. From the Sports Broadcasting Camp in Clark, New Jersey, I'm Richie Risco. Back to the studio. So, Craig, how long have you been in the sports broadcasting business?
Been in the broadcast business about 9 years.
Okay. What is your favorite part about being a sports broadcaster?
My favorite part has to be the free food. We get fed really well.
What was your greatest memory about being a sports broadcaster?
My greatest memory is when we got a chance to go to 2 NCAA tournaments. It was before I turned 21. I got a chance to go and cover 2 NCAA tournaments. There are people, covering sports for 50 years and they don't get to go to 2 NCAA tournaments. I got to do it when I was a young kid, so that really stands out.
Did they win?
Who won?
Monmouth.
Oh yeah, I was covering Monmouth at the time, and they won in the play-in game in 2006, and played Villanova really close in the next round, but fell by a couple points.
I'm Richie Risco from the Clark Sports Broadcasting Camp. Back to you guys in the studio.
I'm here with Craig D'Amico, the director of the Clark Sports Broadcasting Camp. Now, Craig, what inspired you to run this broadcasting camp?
Well, over the summer's last, almost 10 years, I've worked at a sports broadcasting camp up at Montclair State University, and I've said, wow, we got to do something like that here. We have a lot of kids involved in the TV classes in the middle school and high school here in Clark, so I said, wow, we got to bring something like this here to Clark, and we did it last year. It was a great success, and we're happy to be back here for year 2.
All right. How did you get into the business of broadcasting?
It started across the street for me. I did 2 years of announcing for high school during the morning show for their sports, and kept right going into college, and I've got a couple lucky breaks, and here I am.
What specific sports were your main interest of announcing?
Well, it's different. My favorite sport as a fan is baseball, but it's the hardest to announce. My favorite sport to be at live is hockey, but that's also one of the hardest to announce. My favorite sport to announce is basketball. My favorite sport, not out of the major ones to announce, is actually volleyball, and that would actually surprise a lot of people.
Okay. And why should a broadcasting company hire you for a job?
Because I've had tons of experience, almost 10 years now, and I'm a young guy. They're not going to be hiring me for my good looks, I know that, but hopefully with my preparation, and my voice, my broadcaster voice, hopefully it's enough to get the job done.
All right, I'm sure those looks will get you somewhere. Back to you guys. Thank you.
Okay. What's your philosophy for broadcasting?
Oh, the interview started?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do I get to talk?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, my philosophy on broadcasting is, have fun with it. Sports is a game. A lot of times people take things too seriously. So I try to, get the important parts of the game across, but, you don't want to shortchange the game, but, have fun with it.
Yeah, all right. And do you have any advice for young broadcasters? And if so, what?
Yeah, you just get involved. A lot of times people think, going to a big name school will help you, and really that's not true. It's all about getting experience. So if someone goes to a smaller school but is on the air every day, that you're much better off than someone who goes to a big name school that gets a fancy degree.
All right. Good. And how How did you get into broadcasting?
Well, I got into broadcasting a different way kind of than a lot of people. I went to school for 4 years at Monmouth, and then actually took 3 years, but finally persistence paid off, and I got a call from the Northeast Conference to come announce some of their soccer games, and they thought I did a good job, and they kept hiring me back for more stuff, so it worked out great.
Okay, thank you, Craig.
Hi, I'm here with Craig D'Amico. And so Craig, have you enjoyed your career so far and why?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a thrill. It's been almost 10 months, 10 years. I'm starting to feel old doing it, but I've gotten to travel to some great places, call some great games, still be a part of sports, made a lot of friends, so it's been really fun.
Okay. And you said you traveled a lot of places. What are some places you've traveled to?
Oh, well, I've gotten to travel all over the place. The furthest I've been is actually California for a game. I traveled to Texas, a lot here in the Northeast. So, yeah, I've really knocked a lot of states off my bucket list of places to go.
That's very nice. So, who has influenced you, and how have they influenced you?
To tell you the truth, I don't really think that's an appropriate question.
You don't? No? No. All right. Well, all right. We're done, I guess. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here.
It's your interview.
Wait, what? Can we end it? Yeah.